time no see.
Yeah, I feel like I was just here.
Okay, it's 6:30. We're going to get started, please. Okay, good evening. The hour being 6:30 PM on Monday, January 8th, 2024. I'd like to call to order the Brookfield Village Board meeting. Would everyone please join me in a pledge of allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Bridget, can we have a roll call, please?
Trustee Ketchmark?
Here.
Trustee Cote?
Here.
Trustee Hendricks?
Here.
Trustee Miramatsu?
Here.
Trustee Gahuli?
Here.
Trustee Kaluzny?
Here.
And President Garvey.
Here. Thank you, Bridget. We have one appointment tonight. At this point, I would entertain a motion to appoint April Headland to the Beautification Commission.
So moved.
Second. All right, the motion was made by trustee Kaluzny, second by trustee Gahuli. No fighting, kids. Any questions or comments on the appointment?
I just wanted to say I'm really excited to have April join the commission. Thank you so much for volunteering even more in Brookfield than you already do. Leading the Women's Club, we're really excited to have you as an asset to this commission and excited to get you started tomorrow for your first meeting. Thanks, April.
Very well said. That's what I was going to say. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks?
Aye.
Trustee Miramatsu?
Aye.
Trustee Gahuli?
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. April, if you can come up to Clerk Weber, she will swear you in.
Raise your right hand. I, April Headland,
I, April Headland,
having been appointed to the office of
having been appointed to the office of
Beautification Commission
Beautification Commission
in the Village of Brookfield,
in the Village of Brookfield,
in the County of Cook,
in the County of Cook,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of
the Office of Beautification Commissioner
the Office of Beautification Commissioner
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Again, thank you for agreeing to serve, and I guess I'm going to put you to work right away tomorrow
Yes,
night, so
tomorrow.
thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Thanks.
April.
Thanks.
And you get the same gift that every appointee gets. You could stick around for the rest of the meeting, or you can go to one of the other meetings you probably have tonight, so whatever you like. Okay, that ends the items we have on our appointments and presentations. At this point, I'll open it up to public comment. Is there anyone on this side of the audience that has any public comment? Yes, sir, if you can come up to the microphone, please. Just give us your name for the record.
James L. Miller, 30-year Brookfield resident. I'd like to speak about the illegal aliens entering our country and being sent various places to be babysat. This is an assault on our sovereignty, illegal and unconstitutional. Government is of the people, by the people, for the people. Our policies regarding immigration do not reflect any citizens I know. Additionally, we have a $34 trillion national debt that takes $1.8 billion a day to maintain. We don't have the time, we may have the time, but we don't have the money to do these mercy things that we just don't have the money. And if it comes, push comes to shove, and you know, they want to send them here, I personally don't want them here. They're a gateway for drugs, disease, crime. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Anyone else on my right side have any public comment? Anybody on my left side? Okay, hearing no further public comment, we'll move on to reports of special committees. Trustee Cote, please.
I'd like to make a motion to approve corporate warrant dated January 8th, 2024 in the amount of $2,277,811.95.
Second.
Okay, the motion was made by Trustee Cote, second by Trustee Gahuli. Any highlights you want to point out, Trustee Cote?
Yes, this, sorry?
Oh, was it Trustee Kaluzny? Was the second? Okay, sorry.
The warrant was a combination covering a range from December 12th till today, hence the $2 million. We did not have a meeting at the end of December. There was a 2023 MWRD Green Infrastructure Grant application fee that was in there, and the first of two payments for the village-wide security camera system that we had approved in the budgeting is in there. And we had two people take advantage of the flood mitigation program with $3,000 in reimbursements to each.
Thank you, Trustee Cote. Do any board members have any questions or comments related to the corporate warrant? Okay, seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks?
Aye.
Trustee Niramatsu?
Aye.
Trustee Gahuli?
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny?
Aye.
Motion passes.
In regards to DPW, DPW is working very hard recently in preparing Brookfield streets for the upcoming snow and then the past snows. So please check your street signs for your parking regulations on your street for snowfall. And as always, if you see an issue in town, the best method for passing this information along is to open a request via the C-Click Fix application. You can access this via the village website, or you can download the app on your phone and do so. A reminder that the library has teamed with the Greater Food Depository and providing afternoon snacks for school-age kids until March 20th. It's from 3 to 5 p.m. on the school days. And as always, you can go to the Linda Sokol Francis Public Library website to see what other events that they have going on. For those veterans in our community, veterans looking for mental health assistance can do so through the Jesse Brown VA Medical Center. You can call 312-569-6177 to get started with enrollment. If you're struggling or you know somebody who is struggling, please call 988. If you're a veteran and you're calling about a veteran, you can choose option 1. The VA has a national coaching and care program where they have licensed psychologists and social workers that will talk to you, a veteran, for free of charge and to help you find your way throughout the VA system. The best way to help a veteran, to help figure out the best way for your care to be processed through the VA. All calls are confidential. To speak to a VA coach, call 888-823-7458. We have these numbers on our website. We have a link on our website that'll link you out to the VACC, the Veterans Affairs of Cook County, Commission of Cook County, and you can find that on our website. And if you don't have a computer at home, you can go to the Linda Sokol Francis Library to access a computer so you can also see that. If you are a veteran of foreign war, come out to the VFW here in Brookfield, and we can also put you in touch with a service officer. Or you can talk to me directly, and I will put you in touch with a service officer at the VFW that you can talk to. And one last item, I think I have a responsibility to my other board members to say "Go Blue." I think is what I'm supposed to be saying tonight. So
correct.
That concludes
Thank
my
you.
report.
Thank you, Trustee Cote. Trustee Gahuli, Chamber of Commerce, please.
Yes, the Chamber of Commerce met today for their monthly meeting, and just a few things to announce. They have, you may have read this in the landmark, but the Chamber of Commerce has traditionally given out an annual scholarship to Lyons Township or Riverside Brookfield students. Both are eligible. So they have recently increased their scholarship fund from $1,000 to $5,000. So they're very excited to kind of fine tune some of the requirements for the scholarship and then increase that amount goes directly to the student, not to the school. They are required to put in eight hours a year volunteering with the chamber and our Brookfield businesses in a number of different ways. So there's a lot of different and great options there, including the farmers market and other types of events that they put on. They've got plenty of information on this. Scholarship deadline is March 1st. Winners will be announced May 1st. These are for students who will pursue a 2 or 4 year degree in business. So really great opportunity there from the Brookfield Chamber of Commerce, and you can learn more on their website. Also, you will notice a change in Brookfield to one of our Chamber of Commerce members and very active members in the community, which is the First National Bank of Brookfield, who are changing their name to Brookfield Bank. So this is, they have a new holding company. Nothing else will change with their services or anything like that, but they will have a new logo and have a new name. It's kind of simplified, and so some little exciting new change for them. They're going to be updating their website and some new technology there, so they're very excited about that change. This Friday, there is a 7 to 9 p.m. after hours hosted by Sokol Spirit. I'm sorry, not this Friday, next Friday, the 19th. And also the senior social this year will be on February 11th, and a lot more information to come on that. And a host of other events, some favorite standards are going to be happening throughout the year, and I'll announce those as we get a little closer to each. The last thing I want to say is that their membership drive to join the chamber or to renew your membership to the chamber is open and active. So far in 2024, it's only January 8th, they have 70 members signed up and are expecting many more, and look forward to anyone new that wants to join. They're also looking for additional board members. So they have several people that show up to their meetings all the time, and they're looking for more active board members to fill some of those officer roles. So if you are a chamber member or thinking about being a chamber member, please reach out to them right through the website. There's contact information, and anyone is also welcome to come to those meetings, which are on the second Monday of each month. And that ends my report.
Thank you, Trustee Gahuli. Trustee Hendricks, Planning and Zoning, please.
Planning and Zoning Commission met this past month. They discussed map amendments for parks, and that is on our committee of the whole agenda for tonight. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Trustee Ketchmark, Administration, Economic Development.
There was no meeting of the Economic Development Commission for December, but I do have a few updates on a few other items that they had been working on, as well as staff. The Shop Local gift card to date, there's been 313 cards that have been activated with a total of $13,510 loaded onto those cards. We are able to track where the transactions take place. So just a Beach Avenue Barbecue Taco here, Gosha's, Tischler's, CVS, Locomoca, BP, Betty's, Citgo, Shell, Magic Touch Cleaners, Advance Auto, Mr. Submarine, Fill My Jar, Taco Azteca, Leo's Liquors, Warmwick, Paisans, Little Owl, Taco Shop, Irish Times, Urban Mud, Brookfield Breakfast. So kind of all over the place. The cards are also being sold at Gosha's and Fill My Jar. There are discussions to make them also available at Brookfield Bank going forward. There is a new business opening up in the next week or two right here on Brookfield Avenue, Ink Your Wear, which is at 8832 Brookfield Avenue. They moved from Riverside. They are applying for a PIP grant, which will be on the commission agenda on January 17th. And one last item, I kind of teased this at our last meeting in December with the our help from Visit Oak Park. There wasn't a definite date for that showing up, but ultimately it did show up a couple days later on the WGN Around Town segment. We had 4 segments on Around Town for Fill My Jar, Warm Wick, Sister Squared, and Vines and Vinyl all had segments on there. reached a total local national audience of 118,092 people for that. This was part of our being involved with Visit Oak Park, no separate cost to us, but if we were to have bought that amount of advertising time, which would have been a little over 5 minutes, the cost would have been $10,100 to have that appear on WGN for that time. So we did pretty good on that. And as I mentioned, next meeting is January 17th. And that's it.
Thank you, Trustee Ketchmark. Trustee Niramatsu, Parks and Recreation, please.
Yes, well, I know it doesn't feel like spring anytime soon with the weather this week, but pavilion rentals started today. The top, so that's for, spring and summer at all our parks in Brookfield. Also, Tots Prep Preschool Open House is next Thursday, January 18th from 5:30 to 7, and I believe all the preschool sites are going to be open, including the nature preschool, which I think is at Village Hall. So you can visit and check out those programs. And registration for the Tots Prep Preschool began today for current families and is opening to everyone else on February 5th. In terms of programming, there's youth basketball and volleyball starting at the end of this month, and then adult pickleball was really successful this past fall, and they're starting a new session on January 12th. That ends my report.
Thank you very much. Trustee Kaluzny, Conservation and Beautification.
Yes, the Conservation Commission has not met since our last meeting. However, I wanted to share that their work on the sustainability plan and using the Greenest Region Compact to do that was highlighted in the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus end of the year news on LinkedIn and in a newsletter. So they were pretty excited to see their work highlighted there. Their next meeting is on January 23rd at 6:30 p.m. The Beautification Commission met on December 12th. They discussed some of the potential winners for the Brookie Awards, which are our business beautification and improvement awards that the commission gives every year. So that you should be seeing those come up in the next month or so as being awarded. Their next meeting is actually tomorrow night, January 9th at 6:30 p.m. here in Village Hall. And go blue.
Thank you, Trustee Kaluzny. The Solid Waste Agency, or WCMC, have not met since our last meeting. There is an executive board meeting for the West Central Municipal Conference scheduled on January 30th, which I will attend, and I will update the board afterwards. That ends my reports. At this time, I would entertain a motion to pass the omnibus agenda as listed.
So moved.
Second.
The motion was made by Trustee Niramatsu, second by Trustee Hendricks. Roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks?
Aye.
Trustee Niramatsu?
Aye.
Trustee Gilhuli?
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. We have one item under regular business. At this point, I would entertain a motion to pass a resolution to approve and authorize the execution of a consulting services agreement by and between Camiros Limited and the Village of Brookfield for zoning code updates.
So moved.
Second.
You guys
I
are too
suppose
fast for me.
Katie got that.
Who had that one? Trustee Kaluzny and second by Trustee Hendricks. Okay. This was, as the board will recall, we did put out a request for proposals earlier last year for zoning code updates. Based on the responses that we received, we rejected all bids, restructured the request for proposals, and put it out again. We did get some different people back, and a committee involving staff and members of the board interviewed, came up with recommendations, and there's a clear favorite recommendation that Camiros Consulting, we're asking for board approval to enter into an agreement with them for the zoning code update. Tim, is there anything you want to add, or?
You said it.
Okay. Questions or comments from the board?
No.
Okay, roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks?
Aye.
Trustee Niramatsu?
Aye.
Trustee Gilhuli?
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much to staff and the committee that made this happen. I mean, it took a little bit longer than we thought it, but we wanted to get it done the right way, and this is an exciting item. We wanted to put it up tonight so we can sign the agreement and get going on it right away. So there will be future updates coming on this. Okay, moving on, manager's report, Tim? Okay. There being no further business on the board agenda, I entertain a motion to adjourn the board meeting at 6:48 p.m.
So moved.
Second.
The motion was made by Trustee Cote, second by Trustee Gilhuli. Roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks?
Aye.
Trustee Nearmatsu?
Aye.
Trustee Gilhuli?
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, with the board meetings adjourned at 6:49, we're going to go into the committee of the whole meeting very shortly. Just Bridget needs time to flip over, but if everyone could just kind of stay put. I'm sorry, we're ready to go with the committee of the whole meeting. So at 6:49 PM on Monday, January 8th, I'd like to call to order the Village of Brookfield Committee of the whole meeting. Bridget, can we have a roll call for the committee meeting, please?
Trustee Ketchmark?
Here.
Trustee Cote?
Here.
Trustee Hendricks?
Here.
Trustee Nearmatsu?
Here.
Trustee Gilhuli?
Here.
Trustee Kaluzny?
Here.
And President Garvey.
Here. Thank you, Bridget. There's one item to discuss tonight, as the board will recall, I think it was back in October of last year at a committee of the whole meeting, staff approached us about basically cleaning up the zoning map with the parks designations in the zoning map. We referred it to the Planning and Zoning Committee. So there's a memo that we have, as usual, from staff on this, but I'm going to turn it over to our village planner, Kate Portillo, to give us an update. Trustee Hendricks indicated that this was discussed at a Planning and Zoning meeting this week, so.
Thank you so much, President Garvey and honorable trustees. This is a map amendment request for 8 parks to be designated on the zoning map as appropriate open space districts. So we are talking about locations that are now legal non-conforming, and this map amendment would make them conforming uses. So very quickly, this request moved forward with 8 parks: Candy Cane Park, Creekside Park, Harrison Park, Madison Tot Lot, portions of Ellert Park, some of which the other portions were already zoned as open space, Maple Park North, Veterans Memorial Park, and Maple Park South. So the Planning and Zoning Commission did meet on December 28th and issued a unanimous favorable recommendation approving the map amendments for 8 parks by a vote of 7 ayes and 0 nays. And here are the specific recommendations for each of the parks, mostly for our attorney. And essentially, the open space designations are very similar, with some minor differences that were voted upon appropriate to the assets and potential the parks have. But as I believe you are all aware, and just for the sake of the public, no physical changes are proposed to the parks. This recommendation was for map amendments only. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Yeah, because we were required to post signs in the park about the public hearing, it did raise some questions or concerns about what the signs were about, but there was the required legal notice. And we will be making improvements and additions in the parks going forward, but those signs were not related to that. So, Trustee Hendricks, anything you wanted to add from the Planning and Zoning?
No, there was support from the PZC. It's good to get this in line and all the sort of bookkeeping up to date.
Questions or comments from the board?
Nope.
So this will just take board action at the next meeting. It will be a single ordinance or multiple ordinances?
Single ordinance.
Single ordinance at the next board meeting to update our zoning map to properly reflect these classifications if the board supports it. So we'll put that up. Kate, thank you, and thanks to the Planning and Zoning Commission and everyone that was involved in this. So, okay. That was the only item that we had up for discussion on tonight's committee of the whole meeting. I will once again open it up to public comment. Is there anyone on this side that has any public comment? Anybody on this side has any public comment? Okay, hearing none. Is there any need for executive session tonight, Tim? Okay. So it's 6:53 PM. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn the committee of the whole meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Trustee Cote, second by Trustee Kaluzny. Roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks?
Aye.
Trustee Nearmatsu?
Aye.
Trustee Gilhuli?
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, we're adjourned at 6:53 PM. Thank you for coming, everybody.